everyone. It's 𝓽𝓵𝓫 𝓥𝓪𝓵 with ℕ𝔼𝓸𝓷𝓮𝓼 and the 𝓫𝓼 Group. This month, I am so elated to be sitting with my friend Tiffany of Dedicated Credit Repair. Thank you so much for spending time with me.
Thank you so much for featuring us. I appreciate it.
So the first thing I wanted to ask you, because I think there's a misconception out there, what is the difference between credit repair and debt consolidation? Because there's some shady fellows out there where you pay thousands of dollars and they make all these promises, and that's not what you're about. So what's the difference?
Absolutely. And that's one of the most frequently asked questions and maybe misconceptions in the credit industry. A lot of our clients will come to us with credit challenges and they're unaware of the fact that the majority of what's affecting their FICO scores is their debt. And so really debt consolidation, consumer credit counseling, there's a time and a place for it, although I'm not a huge fan of either of those. But credit repair is really the plastic surgery after the mess. So once you have stopped the bleeding and you're no longer in that financial hardship, you basically found a way to become debt-free or at least not have 30-day lates that are currently happening, then that would be a credit repair client. But what I like to do is sit down with clients in any of those circumstances and then give them a complimentary credit repair roadmap to mitigate some of what they think they need to do and just really put them on the right path.
So if nothing else, you can guide them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And that's huge.
Absolutely.
So what is a good candidate for credit repair?
So credit repair is really for someone that has low FICO scores where their last 30-day late is about a year ago. If it's about a year ago, then we have the ability to start effectively, legally, and ethically disputing those things off of credit using the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act laws that were put in place to protect consumers. But really, a good candidate for credit repair is basically anyone that is, that has gone through a divorce or illness, that has maybe excessive, bills that they were late on due to, unexpected things that could happen.
What about though, what if somebody they have an okay credit score, but maybe they want to buy a second home and you just want to get like a really good interest rate on that new car you want to buy or the house that you want to buy? What about someone like that too? And I think people think of credit repair and they just think, oh, I'm embarrassed to admit that I need to call Tiffany. No, what if I want to get my FICO as high as I possibly can?
Absolutely. There's credit repair and there's credit enhancement. I mean, at any given point in time, and I always tell my clients this, if you've adulted for any length of time, we either make good decisions, bad decisions, none of them intentionally, right? We don't go set out to make bad choices. But sometimes we have business partners that, we dissolve a business relationship or, God forbid, a divorce. Things like that where we have to sit down and say, okay, it happened, life happened. How do we fast track your recovery? And that's really what we do. So sometimes it means we are reestablishing positive lines of credit for people, helping them build their FICO scores. Sometimes it's the removal of negative credit information off of a report. There's so many different things. Restructuring, budgeting. I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes it's just a matter of going, okay, who in your family pays your bills? And why are you doing it if you're not the one that's good at it, right? So it's just sitting down and having a heart-to-heart, put all the cards on the table and just kind of coming to the table with pen on paper, what can we do differently? And it's just so invaluable to have accurate information that's not only FICO friendly, but let's face it, if you're in the process of trying to buy a home, sometimes the advice that I'm giving you for FICO score increase is not going to be it's not going to be the same as an underwriter would look at the file. So it's so important for us to work together collaboratively to put someone on the right path, considering all of the goals. So that's what we do.
Now, do you kind of struck a chord with me when you mentioned divorce or a dissolved business or something like that? That's something that you and I were talking about the other day. I mean, we all know at least one person in our life right now who's going through a divorce. And how do you do that FICO gracefully?
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you, I have a friend, I have a friend who's going through that, but I know that her goal and his goal at the end is that they each are going to want to be able to buy a home. So how do you do that?
And unfortunately, I'm my own best example, I feel like, in all of these scenarios. But sometimes you have to, frankly, I coach a lot of people going through a divorce. They'll come in together, which is always the best thing to do. Let's be honest, sometimes there's a lot of anger, hurt, frustration involved in that process, and rightfully so. But if you can, and I know it's hard, put those things behind you when you're talking about this and just be about business. Sit down with an expert who has no skin in the game either way. Yeah. At the same time,
you're an attorney, you have nothing to do with the divorce, you're just helping both of them.
Exactly. And sit down and figure out, okay, what are your open credit cards? What do you owe? What would be the fairest way and the least, what's the least penalty? Because sometimes if you get removed from a credit card, you could lose, initially 60 points from being removed from a positive trade line is what we call it. But sometimes you have to make a business decision that's just a temporary consequence for long-term success. So I'll sit down with clients who are going through a divorce and say, okay, let's look at all 3 of your credit cards or all 6 of them. Okay. And let's figure out a fair repayment plan, because what's going to happen if you can't come together peacefully, the judge will determine, hey, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for this.
You don't want a judge deciding who's going to impact your FICO score.
Well, and here's the thing, even if the attorneys, or the judge says you're responsible for this, well, that doesn't mean that the FICO score isn't going to be penalized if you miss that payment. So if you are responsible to pay it and you want to provide a court document to say, hey, well, you know what? I wasn't supposed to pay this. He was. Well, unfortunately, if he misses that payment, your FICO score absolutely will be affected, and it's allowed to be affected because you were on the original debt.
Yes.
So it's so much better to just sit down and say, I really can't stand you. I don't want to talk to you, but I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to, because houses are involved and legacies are involved and children are often involved. Yeah. So, like I said, put your business hat on just for the next 45 minutes.
Put your big girl and big boy pants on.
Yes. And you know what? It may not always be possible, but if you can, that's always the fairest way to do it. Because like I said, the FICO Score, TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, they don't care why you don't want to pay it or why you shouldn't pay it. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, when you got the credit card, you were on the traditional or the original loan. So that's my best advice.
So how long does the credit repair or credit enhancement usually take?
Well, my favorite answer to that is it depends. I think people love hearing that.
I figured as much,
but realistically, clients see an immediate increase within the first 30 days. Okay. And then on average, depending on what's on the credit report, which by the way, we would very much during the consultation narrow that down for each client before they enroll. But it can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months on average. Mm-hmm. I have had clients in the program a year. Those clients typically will have an additional 30-day late that pops up. It's kind of like a new flat tire while we're trying to race off the lot. So it really does depend. But my goal is that every client goes, 3 to 6 months is not that long, considering it may have taken me 4 years to damage my credit.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Mm-hmm. And I think a big question that everybody's thinking right now, because like I said, you just hear of these people, I paid $4,000 and blah, blah, blah. And that's just not how it should be.
No.
What does it cost?
So the cost for our program is $199 to enroll. It's always just $199 standard, doesn't matter what's on your credit, that's our enrollment fee. Yeah. Then legally, because we're registered with the Department of Justice.
And that's a big deal.
It is.
What she just said is a big deal.
Yeah. It's not an option. So I love that I can say it, but it really shouldn't be a bragging right. It's actually a requirement of the credit repair industry. So first and foremost, to your comment about people doing it and you're not allowed to legally charge upfront for the services. So if someone's charging you $3,000 or whatever to do the work upfront, that is not okay. But it's $199 to sign up, and then it's $79 a month, billed in arrears. So essentially the client receives a service first and then they pay. And that's just a real comfortable way for a consumer to be like, if it really works, I'll pay you. And that's how we really identify ourselves as different.
And it does work.
It does work.
I see your cool stories all the time that you post, and I love it.
14 years in business, you guys. We've helped thousands of clients. Our reviews are amazing. And we just love what we do. We have a heart for our clients. It's awesome.
Tell me a little bit about your team really quick.
So we have 6 full-time people. Actually, I get 5, including myself. I'm one of my full-time people.
You count.
I do. Most of my girls have been with us for years. So we're a true family. Everybody comes from different backgrounds and different life stories. Many of us have actually walked out some of the very things that our clients go through at different stages in our lives. But each of us, what I love about our team is that we sit down with every client. If you come in here, you're going to see that it's a boutique feel. We're not a franchise. You can't even enroll online if you want to. You have to have face-to-face or at least over-the-phone consultation that takes 30 to 45 minutes for us to really identify with your story. Because there is no credit report that's the same as someone else's. It's like a fingerprint. They're very unusually different in terms of a husband and wife might have some of the same accounts on them, but very different scores.
Yeah.
So even that scenario, we want to talk to every single client.
So tell me, how do they get in touch with you? And you were telling me about FICO Fitness for January.
Yes.
So first of all, how do they get in touch with you? So
first things first, if you're a phone person, which I wish there were more of these days, like everyone's a texter now, you can call us at 951-246-7754. If you can't, take phone calls during the day because you're working, no problem. You can go directly to our website to schedule a consultation, which is 𝓣𝓸𝓬𝓪.com for dedicated credit repair. So 𝓣𝓸𝓬𝓪.com. We also, of course, have Facebook. I'll tell you, the FICO Fitness thing is my favorite. We look at so many things in January, like our physical health. We look at our goals. We create our vision boards. But I'm going to encourage everyone out there to take advantage of the opportunity to focus on your FICO score this January.
FICO Fitness.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier to fix your FICO scores than your income.
True.
You can't just all of a sudden have, an increased income.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I know.
Can I pay you $70-something to do that?
To have a little bit more coming in. So I just say, let's focus on the things we can fix and the things we can change. And stop, allowing the term, when you say I have bad credit, don't wear that, don't wear that label and just accept it. It's so easy to fix. So my encouragement is that everyone focus on their FICO scores. If you are, by the way, a policeman, fireman, military, nurse, or teacher,
love this.
We have discounts year-round for our enrollment. So instead of $199, it's only $159 to sign up.
Wow.
Yes, and then instead of $79 a month, it's $59 a month. So,
so
don't
that's
wait.
Amazing.
Don't wait. And like I said, there's no excuses. If it's affordable and it works and you have a reputable company that's legal and ethical,
how can anybody not take advantage of this? I mean, that truly is affordable. I mean, it just
what I'm asking.
It just
why don't they?
Because not enough people know.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know.
Yes.
Share this video.
Yes, please.
Look, credit enhancement is not something to be embarrassed about, you guys, okay? I mean, you should be super pumped to give Tiffany and her team a call.
Yeah.
Take that FICO score up and make it even more amazing with her, and then give a testimonial for her,
please.
Telling everyone what great work that they did. This is something to be excited about and to be proud about. And I'm just so, I love being your friend. I'm honored to have you as a friend. Tiffany is a strong, intelligent a woman with a huge amount of integrity, and you are in the best of care with her company. So thank you for spending time with me.
Thank you for featuring us. I appreciate it so much.
Yay. All right, well, let's see who you'll get to meet next month. Don't forget to mention the video when you give them a call, okay? FICO Fitness for January.